Alrighty.
So, last session, all of you concluded your battle against the parasitic infiltrators. A prolonged effort, though with some kind of ridiculous rolls. Explosions are a thing. The ship was destroyed, and the crew of or former crew of Horizon has all gathered here once again. And to pick up, here we are, the last little gleam of light before the sunset. There are no particular plans for the rest of you for a while, aside from your intricate duties that you have. However, aboard the USS Horizon and DeSoto, respectively, all of you have the option to go down to Earth and just recuperate, or spend time however you will or want. That being said, where do any of you want to go, and what scenes would you wish to perform?
Anywhere we want to on Earth.
We can go to Fiji. You know, it could be for a minute.
Is Fiji still around in this century, or has it sunk beneath the waves?
There might be a version of Fiji. It's probably not the same thing as
New Fiji. We're going to New Fiji.
There we go. Sounds so stupid and ridiculous. But that is an option.
There's a Fiji-class cargo ship.
Due to a teleporter error, we end up in a Fiji-class cargo ship.
Alaska would take her time to go down and visit Italy and visit family.
Okay. Alright, with that, anywhere that, West or Captain Phillips or Neshik want to go? Same with Apicity, if they have any other places
I will
Earth
say,
they want to visit.
If Alaska's already going to be in Europe, Neshik's eyes will actually light up a little bit, and they'll come forward. While we have some shore leave time, it'll take a bit for me to make some arrangements, but whenever you all are done with your business, I would very much actually like all of you to meet me in Germany.
What's in Germany?
So that's what Neshik's plan is.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what the captain meant. What's in Germany?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. So,
Well,
what's in Germany that's gonna have us there? And yeah.
In one of my hobbies is racing, for lack of a better term.
Oh my god.
And there is a particularly famous roadway in Germany that I've always very much wanted to go on. And I figured this would be a good chance for all of you to finally get a driving lesson. We're going to the Autobahn.
Oh my god.
I don't care that this was coming up. This particular raceway, I know exactly which one he was talking about. I don't know what the one about. Okay, you know what this is doing.
Oh my
The
god.
Autobahn and the Nuremberg Ring.
Oh my god! That was very subtle and yet so pointed.
If we're going to the Autobahn, I might have some vehicles that we can use.
Oh.
No.
Neshik will actually be very interested in this.
Oh no.
The captain is
You know what I'm thinking, aren't
I
you,
need
Fate?
I know exactly what you're thinking of, and oh no.
I mean, she is immortal, and it would be a hobby to keep her occupied.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, that is okay.
Being a car collector, and we're going to She's going to Italy anyway to visit family.
Alright. Yeah, that works. Alright, so a little bit of an Italy visit, and then a driving lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alaska wouldn't need a driver's lesson.
Oh, for certain things maybe. The and where are you going, Captain Phillips, if anywhere? Any other locale that you might want to hit for a bit, or?
Well, before he goes with Neshik to Germany and the Autobahn, he was going to go to Stockford Academy because he was asked to do a lecture or two
Okay.
based on his experience on Horizon.
Alright.
It's been coming up recently, so I figure he'll come in and do something. Talk about his time on Horizon, the alien species he's met, and all his adventures. We're keeping it. He's somewhat tasteful for the cadets.
Okay. Alright. While you were off doing that, then. What about West? Is West going anywhere, with this interlude time before going back out on, like, a contract job?
West really doesn't have anything planned. He didn't expect to exactly have downtime.
There's a little bit of downtime, if there's any, like, place that West wants to go that's nearby.
You want to visit Earth greenhouses?
There you go.
I'm about to go back to a planet that's like approximately fuck you billion degrees. I want to see some greenery.
West did try to find a person on Horizon before he knew that they weren't on Horizon. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do also have to like get a physical body over here for Neshik's driving lessons.
Yeah.
I assume I can get one rebuilt if nothing else.
Yes, it probably won't be as, motor functionary or as efficient as yours, but it is definitely passable. It's still pretty high quality, it's just gonna feel a little weird.
You don't want to just plug directly into it like Knight Rider or something.
While that would be hilarious, I think it defeats the purpose.
What's happening on the freeway? The car's crashing! Must be a bad. No, the car is the driver!
The AI is trying to learn how to drive, guys. It's fine.
But the, yeah, there is actually a vessel, that is in, yeah, there's greenhouses on Earth, but there's also a vessel that is being built, at Earth shipyards. And the entire vessel is it has been aptly named the Ark class. it is a ship that is basically a giant nature preserve. It's about 2 times the size of a Galaxy class.
Yeah, that's where I want to spend my time before the driving lessons.
Okay.
And I will extend the invitation to West if he still has nothing to do by the time we leave.
He will go with.
Okay. The greenhouse ship, or the nature preserve ship, whatever you want to classify it as, is expectedly, it resembles a lot of deep forest and such, and a little bit of mountain range. There's even effectively there's a small functional lake or pond with a stream and current and waterfalls. You can see actual wildlife. You can hear the sounds of birds or various fauna, and you can see like fish going through the streams. It's really peaceful.
Do we have permission to just fucking wander into the woods and get lost? Because that sounds delightful. Not like actually lost. I don't think I can actually get lost. I have like a GPS in my head, but
Yeah, but you can wander. There is, yeah, you're wandering into the woods. You can find there's a bunch of little streams that kind of run through rocky little currents. You can hear the slight little rapids against rock, and you can see shadows of fish going through. You can large trees, and actually the some of the trees that you're looking at, the kind of the patterns of the bark that you can see a slight blue glow, as some of them are hybrid. They are organic trees that have been fitted with bioneurological components. And it doesn't take either West or yourself, Apicity, to figure out that this ship is powered by the concept of recycled air, the concept of carbon dioxide fuels the trees fuel the oxygen, and in the more living greenery that's within here, the faster this ship operates.
oh, sick. So what are you planning on doing after this, West?
No. Go to the what did they call it? The Autobahn thing that we were all invited to before heading back out into space.
Do you have a new assignment yet?
Wherever we're contracted, the benefits of working with private security, we can actually kind of choose our jobs.
Well, that's convenient.
And we also have no illusions as to who we are.
What works out for you?
I still feel like there's something missing, though.
Like?
Like we're not doing enough that we could. militaristic as I see Starfleet. They had missions. They still did good. Don't get me wrong. It's just I wasn't allowed to re-enlist, but I just feel emptier since leaving.
I chose to get a job that, while I am working for a inherently militaristic society, has no connection to guns or violence in any way, shape, or form. It's a purely research position. Maybe something less active could help.
Maybe.
If you weren't a human, I'd offer you a job on Tholia. But, I don't think you'd like to live in a hazmat suit.
I've lived in worse conditions. As he sort of absently rubs a spot on his back from when he was held prisoner.
Yep. For yourself, Felicity, you wouldn't technically have to. Your research facility is a place where you don't really have to wear a hazmat suit. Or one, you don't have to begin with, but
You did say that I had, like, non-Tholians working with me, and Apricity is gonna, like, shoot West casual. Just in case. We do have positions available.
yeah, it's the only thing that the challenge with Tholia presents is it is pretty isolated. Is the one downside to it.
The language also is not currently, like, in our translators, so... Unless that's changed in the years since, even up to,
It's getting there.
Discovery.
It's getting there. Yeah.
But yeah. That was really all Apricity had. They're absolutely going to enjoy every opportunity they get to be on a planet that isn't a billion degrees. But
Does your research facility, since they don't have weapons, do they have need of engineers?
oh yeah, we have plenty of engineers just to keep the building operating, if nothing else.
The ops department that you have, Apricity, as efficient as they are, they do constantly bitch because they do feel like they get run ragged. Because
yeah, I'd share that, and I'd share what they actually do. Probably mostly like building materials for sciences and
yep.
like.
Environmental systems is one that they touch up on a lot.
And then obviously we have doctors and scientists. It's mostly a research facility. I'm just there to keep everybody alive.
Maybe I'll apply for an engineering position. Maybe it's time to do something with my hands other than just shoot weapons.
I look forward to seeing your application. I'll let I don't even know who Apricity would be working for, but they'll let them know.
West already has a pad out.
The facility thus far is actually, as you've recently discovered, works kind of adjacent with Dr. Julian Bashir. So it'll go to your facility, and it'll also pass through his eyes as well.
I'll do my part to recommend West. Apricity's generally fond of him. We are technically on vacation together.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about a couple minutes later, there will be a ping on any device that you have as he puts his pad away.
Apricity is, by definition, it is impossible for them to not be paying some level of attention to you, but they're mostly paying attention to the trees now.
Mm-hmm.
Wes will also just lose himself into their surroundings.
This vessel, and you're seeing some of the crew, and this crew is kind of to West's point a little bit. And an interesting thing that you're noticing about this crew is it's commissioned by Starfleet. There's no argument that this is a starship that is meant and built by Starfleet. However, the crew members, the very few that you're seeing here, are wearing science blues or civilian attire. This is the Ark class, from what you gather, Apricity, and is a ship that is meant to go for many, many decades. To far beyond the reach of any known space. The original conception of what Starfleet is meant to be is discovery and putting themselves out there. That's what this ship is. That's kind of what I think West was putting at it. And you maybe are seeing it a little bit better than he is, just a tiny bit. But the mannerisms are that of being relaxed. Despite everything that's happened within Earth very recently, they don't look that shaken. With that, anything else that Felicity or West want to do here before going to something insane?
I'm good. It's time to learn how to drive.
Well, we have to get the cars first.
That's true. I don't want to know what we're driving.
Alright. So the question for Aleska here then, are you going to Earth via transporter or shuttlecraft? Take note, you do not have to be the one flying the shuttlecraft.
Transporter.
Okay. Right outside the location, or...
Yeah. Right outside the location.
Okay. Transporting down, you. It is refreshing to see a place where technology still has its influence, but isn't as prominent here. It isn't as suffocating. It's a little bit more open space.
But it is still different from the Rome she knew.
Oh, very much. But it is there.
And she would have invited Neshik to come and go to the facility where she would keep her collection.
Ooh, all right.
Okay.
And for you, Joe, this would be the old Formula One. Well, for us in the 24th and 25th century, it would be the old Formula One racing track.
Mhm.
And its surrounding warehouse, which she technically doesn't own, but her family does.
This driving lesson got way more dangerous.
Exactly what I wanted. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Just the single one?
There's about 2 or 3 warehouses now, so, and some of them are several levels deep underground too.
Alright.
She's had a lot of time to build up her collection.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Nashik, you are seeing a impressive slice of well-preserved human history. By comparison to Starfleet and Earth Day, this stuff is primitive and archaic.
It's kind of like, you know that scene in Justice League when Superman is transported into the future after Savage broke the solar system?
Yeah.
And Savage's base is like several and has all the collections of everything he had been saving and everything. It's kind of like that kind of vibe.
Okay.
I'm impressed you have enough. Where do you get the fuel? I was under the impression that the Earth had run out of petroleum sometime in the mid 21st century.
It is artificial oil.
Impressive. The conversion
Not,
must have taken some work.
yes, and it's not as efficient as pure gasoline that they used to run on, but it works.
What do you think will be easiest for our new learners here?
And she will guide Neshik to the line of Ferraris from the 1980s.
Ooh.
I mean, Adversity has a con of 3. I think they've driven a car once. They've definitely downloaded the user manual.
Oh yeah, because that translates.
Playing Grand
just
Theft
fine.
Auto doesn't count.
And especially a Ferrari.
Okay.
All right. Next question, Aleska. Not for the lesson, but just for me. Got any old motorcycles?
And she will bring up a map because she hasn't been here in a while and locate
Bring up the inventory.
Yes, basically bring up the inventory and where they're located, and because in some ways it's almost like a museum, like how Jay Leno has his car collection, that kind of thing. And we'll lead Neshik to the motorcycles, ranging from the very earliest to even, I assume they sometimes make them even now in the 24th and 25th for hot rodders.
Oh yeah. There is some older models. There's some of the ones that in our standards today look a little bit futuristic, which is like the BMW motorcycle that just stays balanced on its own.
Hmm.
But there's quite a few.
I'll probably go ahead and pick like an early 2000s Ducati, like Street Fighter type thing.
Okay.
And
Well, let's get these to Berlin, I guess.
Alaska will pick a 1982 Ferrari 308 GT SI.
Okay. So interesting thing about something like this, roads are really weird in the 25th century, in which a lot of them have kind of dissipated, to adhere to more modern day, like terrestrial vehicles. However, with the help of a pretty easy to acquire assistance from an Argo class shuttle, you should be able to get them there. It does
Alrighty.
take a little bit of convincing for the flight station to kind of ask why you need the acquisition of Argo class shuttle.
A little bit of pricing.
I was going to say engineering tests.
And I assume that the Ferrari I choose draws some looks.
Oh yeah, it's one the shuttle pilots are kind of the respective operators. They're kind of looking at they're actually not really sure what to think. They're kind of both in this mindset of does that thing even, I mean, it's really new looking. There's no way this thing still works, right?
A good thing Tom Paris is not here, or else he would be all over that car.
No. He is otherwise occupied. The track that Neshik mentioned in Berlin is there, and it just basically has to come up from the earth. Because it's buried, but it can be activated to bring it up for people exactly like all of you who like to do this shit. At which time I'm sure a little bit Pricity West and Captain Phillips can arrive at Berlin in this location.
So I will say technically the track is actually in Nuremberg, which I'm looking at the map now, and Neshik will explain all this to all of you, but that's about 7.5 hours away from Berlin. So Neshik is going to get on the motorcycle and say, meet you there in 5 hours. And then start driving.
Okay. You're an asshole.
And actually, Alaska will be there before he is.
Yep.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
because Alaska, being who she is, knows all the back roads and all the shortcuts.
Yep.
That's true. You've been on Earth. Neshik's just here for the first time.
Yeah, there is a little bit of hiccups a few times simply because some of these roads don't exist anymore. But you are able to kind of get there. It is a little strange because most vehicles in this day and age, they don't have rubber tires usually now, so it it looks really weird.
I assume the rest of us take a train.
I would actually offer Apricity a ride in the Ferrari.
Have fun.
So, hilariously, here's how I think it would work here. Is Neshik may leave the first. And Alaska and Apricity may beat Neshik there. However, Captain Phillips and Jacob West get there significantly sooner because there's transporter technology.
So I'll be standing there in my city's comp badge on my shirt and said, "What took you guys so long?"
Enjoying the scenery.
Fair enough.
On Earth to see greenery.
Yeah.
I haven't driven one of these in a very long time. So it's good to get to that one of these out for a day.
Okay. You have two vehicles at a track.
Neshik will
No.
Yeah,
roll.
actually, I've quite enjoyed being the passenger. I think I'll just stay here.
No, Apricity. You're gonna learn. Alright. So, do you want to
Rolls.
start with car or the motorcycle?
Apricity is running statistics. They're looking
already
at the
done the
historical
statistics.
likelihood of motorcycle deaths. They're choosing the car.
Okay.
Now here's a bigger question. Can Apricity use a manual?
Yeah, I mean, I
Because that's
I
what
figure
most
I
Ferraris
figure the
are.
3 con is purely in theoretical knowledge.
Well, it's not too hard to locate, like, for all terms, a online manual. However, manual and practice are two different things. So,
Have you? I guess the important question here is: has anybody ever been in a car the first time a neurotic honors student tries to drive?
I was the neurotic honor student. Does that count?
No, because you were the scared one. I was in the car with my one time when my brother was like very very new to driving, and he had this like very distinct start and stop philosophy to his driving. He was very nervous.
okay. So, Neshik, you're making Apricity do this driving lesson first?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I'm fine being last.
No, you're going first.
Alright. How many players do we have again? 5. Okay. Why don't you make me a control and con roll with a difficulty of 2.
Is this me or Apricity?
This is Apricity.
All right.
Okay.
Control con, difficulty of 3, and because of reasons, you've technically never done this, and this is a very old vehicle. I'm gonna spend half my threat.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I don't have a single value or focus that could possibly assist me in this situation.
Nope. Difficulty 2.
It is a difficulty 2.
Does it really count as me assisting because I'm teaching them right now how to drive? Or is this just a check to learn how to drive?
This is just a check.
All right.
So the number I need to pass is a 13, and I rolled 2 13s, so...
Oh my god. Okay.
I don't know how that translates narratively, but...
It's a rocky start. You are
You are the one that's doing the stop and go.
You are an artificial intelligence, and it is one of those things where you can move at microseconds. You can.
This does not help.
This does not help in this instance. So it is still akin to the same of someone being kind of a new driver. Not horrible at it, but there is. There are distinctive starts and stops.
And Alaska is wincing at several moments.
That's the other question for Alaska here. This particular Ferrari. What speed manual is this one?
Let me look it up.
Because depending on how many speeds it is, it could be pretty rough for a few of them.
I'm trying to look it up. It is.
I feel like it's a 5.
Can I...
Yeah.
Could
it's a
I-
5 speed.
I wonder if living with your ideals is harder than dying for them would be applicable right here.
Yeah, it's a 5-speed manual powertrain.
Okay, yeah, there is maybe a couple of distinctive things that Adversity does, like initially on startup before they kind of glide into the use of it. Particularly that really horrid thing that manuals do if you do not use the clutch correctly, and you can hear it makes a pretty awful noise.
Alaska will kind of surreptitiously use her tricorder just to make sure that nothing has broken in the engine block.
Oh, nothing's broken. It's just, the clutch wasn't used right. But after that, it is after probably I would say. I feel like after just a singular lap, I feel like a person would be like, "Nah, I'm done."
All right, very well. Go ahead, take a break. We'll do the motorcycles in a little bit. All right, who's next with Ferrari?
Let's get this over with.
Okay.
Should be fun.
All right.
And this time, Alaska will sit in the passenger seat with West and point out which is the clutch, which is the gear stick, and how you shift between gears to make sure that a repeat doesn't happen.
Okay. With that, then this
You can
is
download the driving manual first.
this is going to be a control and con roll with a difficulty of 2. It would have been 3, but Alaska did guide you a little bit.
Okay. Troll Con 13.
Okay.
11 and 18.
Okay.
1 success.
1 success. All right. West.
I wouldn't have anything to help him, would I?
Unless I get a bonus die for them helping. No, you lowered the difficulty. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have, Alaska?
I have advisor.
Yeah, that would apply in this case.
So a bonus die from that one?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, good, because that's an 8.
Okay.
So 2 successes.
It is still a little bit of a rough start for West as well. However, it's not. There's no grinding sound that occurs. It's just less failure of operation and more just trying to get into the comfort of it. But that proves a success. I don't know how many laps that West wants to do, but
I think about 3 after he gets the hang of it.
mm-hmm.
Seems like a good number, and then... But then again, I'm probably just going off of my early Mario Kart days where they only do 3 laps.
Like how we're still playing Mario Kart and Star Trek that's canon now.
I meant me personally, but sure.
Oh. Alrighty.
Alright.
Well, then when
That
the
leaves
cards-
Captain Phillips left.
Captain.
Right, so it's my turn to roll, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Control and con. This will be a difficulty of 2.
Difficulty 2. Yeah, I succeed on that one. I have 2 successes on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, look at my dice again, but yeah, 2.
Alright, yep. Alright. I would say it's similar to West's experience. Just takes a little bit of getting used to it and getting to the hang of it. But you were able to, I don't know, how many laps do you want to do, Captain Phillips? Like, around the track? We sticking with the Mario Kart theme and just doing 3, or are we going a little higher, a little lower?
Sticking with Mario Kart rules.
Yes, we can stick with the 3 laps.
Alright. After that all occurs, this all takes place over the course of just because of the way it's all set up and how things are going through. I'd say kills about an hour of time before, I think, Apricity, you're able to process this first and almost, which is weird to say for you, but almost subconsciously, your eyes just flick over to the 2-wheeled vehicle that looks significantly less stable.
Yeah, I've been spending Captain Phillips' turn creating a PowerPoint presentation for why I should not have to get on the motorcycle.
Okay. Alright.
Well,
I email it to Neshik.
I'm not checking my email right now.
I text it to Neshik.
I'm not checking my phone right now. That's dangerous. I'm not going to text and drive.
Phillips is driving.
It's the idea of it. Apricity.
Exactly, have fun.
Well, now we've all had a turn in the Ferrari. Show of hands, who here has just ridden a bicycle before?
That's
Captain
good.
Head, I'm happy goes up. Yep.
Okay, then this will probably be very similar, just a lot faster. And you're not pedaling. And it's also a much heavier vehicle.
The more Neshik speaks, the worse it gets.
But you all need one of these, and I'll hand out helmets to everybody, because we're doing this safely. And alright. Captain, you just went. Aleska, I assume you already know how to ride. Apricity looks like they've just been hit by an artillery shell, so west.
Very well.
Okay.
Alright.
So for west, this is a higher difficulty because it is a little bit more of a complicated startup, and it is a little bit more dangerous. Again, this is con and control with a difficulty of 3.
I think we could do daring con here. That would be a fun one.
You most certainly can do that if you want to.
While it's gonna be the same, I would like to burn a value
Okay.
in an unconventional way.
Okay. Okay.
Pray for peace, prepare for conflict.
I will allow it. I will allow it. Oh my god. Yeah.
I am preparing for this ride to go smoothly, but I am prepared to conflict against a wall.
I'm prepared to conflict with this pavement.
Which is great. Burning the value gave me the 2, and then I got a 3. So
Okay.
that's 3 successes, and the other one is another 18.
Okay.
That
Alright.
was close.
Shit, okay. Whew. That is a TTRPG first for me. I don't think I've ever seen like a value in any type of game be spent like that. That is amazing.
Well, the other one that I could have done was probably improvise, adapt, and overcome, but
That honestly, I mean, that one's so obvious. Like, you might as well have gone.
which is why I didn't go for it.
I mean, it would have worked, but I think the other one was way funnier. um, Alright. Yeah, it's a different feeling, being on this vehicle, but it is almost a little liberating. But after you make a few laps around with it at however fast you want to, because these things can go ridiculously fast, who's next?
Probably the captain.
Saving the best for last. I get it.
Also, we need the doctor like on station in case we do crash.
I am prepared to use my emergency medicine focus.
Okay. Same thing, Captain Phillips. Control or daring con with a difficulty of 3. I don't know if you heard me.
Captain died before they even got on the bike. Who knew motorcycles could be so deadly?
Opacity. Dead. Captain Phillips, are you there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Neshik is advocating for you to do the motorcycle thing.
Okay.
Which is
So is he drive? Is Nessic drive or am I driving?
Nope, this is motorcycle, so it's you.
So
Just you.
you're on the cycle. I've
Um,
shown you the pointers, but
this
So,
is
like,
rest is up to
controlling
you.
con,
this is going to be Control Con or Daring Con, and it'll be a difficulty of 3.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 3 success. I got 3 success. Yeah, I do.
Okay, perfect.
I think.
Going through, uh, easy enough and relaxing enough, going a few laps around. Definitely a less constrictive feeling than captaining a starship or being the ops commander of a station. But you perform it just fine.
Captain, you're a natural.
Upon that,
Mhm.
Apricity can process many events and danger a lot faster than the rest of you, as they come to realize they're next.
I will look to Prissy. Well, Doc, you're up. Have
Yeah,
fun.
I give Neshik the wide-eyed stare of somebody with approximately 9% chance of success here.
But you said your con was pretty good.
My con's a 3.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty
And
good.
that's because it's a 1.
Mine's a 2.
You
Mine's
have
4.
the highest chance. Oh, well, okay. You have the second highest chance of the entire group.
Yes, but I don't have a single value or focus that could possibly apply here.
Okay. Again, you have a faster moving mind and have a little bit of concept and can download like user manuals and stuff like that. So this is either daring or control con with a difficulty of 3. No, difficulty of 2. And you know what? Fuck it, I'll burn the rest of the threat of this session.
Okay, thanks.
Remember, we can rebuild them. We have the technology.
You can also give Joe another threat for an extra die.
I may have to. Do I have to decide that before I roll? I forget.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, then I'll give you back a point of threat. So that
Okay.
you can spend it on me later. Ooh, not ideal. Let's see. We have a 9, we have an 8, and we have a 14.
Okay.
That is 2 successes.
That's what you needed.
That's what you needed. And you avoided the complication range. I'm a little sad about that, but you avoided the complication range.
The bike does not explode while you're on it.
You know what? It's a different feeling. Usually you're in an area that's pretty stationary, all things considered, and you are subject to pretty brutal environments these days. But going around this track is calming. And once you get used to it after the first quarter of the first lap, you can find yourself kind of just driving it without a hitch and have time to kind of multitask. While going around a few laps, you're able to just think and think of other projects back on the research facility on Tholia. And just in this calm space between laps, you're able to kind of piece together certain projects that had been stumping you before. The answers are kind of clicking. the slight breeze that gives off driving like this helpful as well, almost meditative. Before you complete your Mario Karted lap, to you, I think you're realizing that this translated a lot better than the Ferrari did.
Definitely feel less constrained by a vehicle that moves way slower than I do. Okay, Neshik gets like half a compliment for this.
The impressity, that wasn't so bad.
I didn't die. Nobody died, which is more than I expected.
Well, Alaska hasn't gone yet.
That's true.
Alaska could still die.
Alaska's whole thing is not dying, though.
I sent you an email about 15 minutes ago with the statistics involved in motorcycles over the last couple centuries. I really think you should read that when you get home.
I'm well aware of the statistics. I've done them myself. Statistically, this is more dangerous than my career at Starfleet.
I don't know how that's supposed to make Apricity feel better. If anything, it certainly validates Apricity's feelings on it.
I'm sure Alaska will be fine. And I'll look at Alaska.
Yeah, I prepared the EMH call anyway.
Would you like a refresher, or do you want to just see what you remember?
I think I remember how to use a motorcycle, Nishik.
All right, then go ahead.
Okay.
So, Darren Khan.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna give you the option of control here, because that did come off with a bit of arrogant bravado. So, we're gonna go with that.
That'll give me 11.
And I am going to say difficulty 3 because it has been quite a bit.
Alright, then I will give you a threat for an extra die.
Okay. And I'm going to spend 2 points of threat.
Here we go.
This is the most threat I've spent in any game.
It's the last session. You kind of have to burn through it all.
Oh, it's also...
You gotta kill one of us with this motorcycle.
Oh no.
What did I tell you?
A 10, a 13, and a 20.
Okay. Alright, so...
So, how injured do I get?
Well... The question is for you, Alaska, before I continue with this. How comfortable and how fast do you usually feel like going on a motorcycle?
About 100 miles per hour.
Alright. Okay. This is delightful. This is almost just hilarious because it's Alaska. And it's her shit that's doing this to her. Apricity, you watch. For you, because you process things so fast, it happens for you in slow motion. Alaska, being pretty confident in what they were doing, starts and begins to speed up. Starts up without a hitch, really. And goes around, and within the first lap is able to go from 0 to 100. When they make the turn into the third lap, which is right nearby you, you are able to kind of casually glance, just ever so slightly, and can see the front wheel of this motorcycle kind of shift a little bit. You're not able to say anything in time to really make a difference, as in the next probably 50 to 60 yards, you also determine, and Neshik, you'll begin to realize this too, these are indeed well-kept old vehicles. However, well-kept and decently old vehicles or not, they still need a modern amount of upkeep. Alaska has not been around to do any of that upkeep for quite a few years. And the front wheel kind of shifts off.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Next thing. For Alaska, I need a fitness, security, and a difficulty of... pretty used to this type of situation coming up. I'd say fitness, security, difficulty 1. So it shouldn't be that hard to pass, but we'll see.
That would be 14 for me, and another threat to you for an extra die.
Okay.
A Starfleet Chevron, a 16, and a 7. So I think that's 3 successes.
3 successes, yes. Okay. You were able to, with that reaction time, are able to kind of shift it sideways and just let it slide. That's still not going to help you with the violent road rash you're about to get. And you are technically still in uniform, and you will probably have to tailor a new one. A couple of your captain's pips, who knows where the fuck those went, and your communicator badge is very much scuffed and scraped, and probably you'll also have to allocate a new one of those. Miraculously, it doesn't feel like there are any like horrid broken bones, but you probably have easily, like, not like any decent split or broken bones, I should say, but probably have a couple of fractures or sprains. And
Bleeding.
yeah, a fair amount of that.
However, but Neshik and West don't know about Alaska's immortality or healing factor.
Neshik knows about the immortality because of the time travel.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily about the healing factor.
West was not part of that, though.
Yeah, no. What? This will be a new thing for West.
I'm waiting for Alaska to stand up.
Yeah, Alaska begins to stand up and brush herself off, and the road rash starts fading almost immediately as she gets up.
You still got blood caked on you and stuff, but the wound itself it doesn't close right away. It's a little bit of a slower close. But the wound itself for your eyes, West, is gone in probably about a minute.
About those emails.
Right around this time, whether it was intentional or not, Neshik, your communicator or like on-site computer does get like a distinctive secondary ping trying to remind you that you have something.
You have mail.
You've got mail.
Wes will just turn to the group and go, so all those meetings that I was a part of that I probably shouldn't have been, and this wasn't included? As he points over to the healing that's taking place.
For the record,
Oh,
it's
you
one
know.
of the least strange things to come out of those meetings. Or come out of not those meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
And to be truthful, your security clearance wouldn't have granted you access to some of the stuff that is in my file.
He does not have access to it anymore.
Yeah, and the pertinent details weren't even in your original medical file.
Nope. There is a place, Christy, how violently do you think, just curious, because I'm sure Alaska is just a medical fascination, how determined and how deeply did you look into, like, figuring Alaska out?
I mean, I would have asked for samples if Alaska allowed me to. A medical marvel like this dropping in Apricity's lap.
Oh, she would have given.
Have you ever taken part in a sleep study? Like, I want to know everything.
Alaska very rarely sleeps, about maybe an hour or two. But she would have given Apricity a blood sample and said, and as she gave it back at Horizon, good luck. Because there have been attempts to replicate the immortality part of.
Yeah, but I mean, that's an entirely separate thing. I think Alaska's just more, not Alaska, Apricity's just more fascinated with the existence of it.
Yeah, Apricity's whole thing is, under-researched species like the Tholian, and you would count.
Okay. But after getting a almost probably self-proclaimed but rightly so vindicated look from Apricity, Neshik out. How does one proceed with the rest of this whole day?
Well, let's try going around in the Ferrari slowly again. We'll just spend the rest of the time here hanging out. Then we can retire to Cologne for, I don't know, Curryverse or something.
Forget ice.
Go ahead.
No, that was it. That was Apricity's recommendation.
Well, yeah. Nesha got what she wanted to do here.
And Alaska would have the motorcycle sent back to the warehouse with a stern note to the engineer on site about that deal.
There's so many vehicles to upkeep. But yeah. Wounds may have healed, but there is a slight, maybe a slight wound in pride, and also, when wounds heal that fast, muscles get a little bit tense, so it's kind of like feeling a little bit of that like muscle tenseness, but other than that, it's not too bad.
She's used to it by now.
Okay. So where are you guys going then?
Just hanging out around the, city in Germany.
Yeah. Maybe
Unless she
grab
doesn't have
some.
anywhere else specific in mind on Earth, unless you want to truck all the way back to Vulcan and go to her favorite track there.
I feel like people are done driving. I feel like Electricity doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, no. After the crash, even West is like,
Actually,
Maybe something more modern. But
Alaska would take everyone to her favorite jazz bar in New Orleans.
Ooh,
Ooh, nice.
Because Alaska is a big jazz fan.
Okay.
I heard there was a house here in New Orleans that was quite famous.
You motherfucker. God. Oh my god.
I feel like I'm missing something.
I mean, I'd only heard of it by reputation.
House of Boom.
Oh.
No, it was something else. House of the Sunset.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Regardless, this place is lovely. I've never been here before.
I will remember this on Thursday.
Double disadvantage for Paco.
I'm okay with that.
on the other hand, no. Let's send Neshik to it. Let's send Neshik to the house of the rising sun. You want to go to a whorehouse? Let's go.
Wait, we got a whorehouse?
No. No. But the bar is a little different than when you were last here, Alaska, as it has been 5 years. There has been a little bit of staff turnover, but it's a nice place.
And Alaska kind of did help to rebuild it after World War III.
Mm-hmm. Here you can just grab food or drink, if you so choose.
Neshik is going to be entranced by jambalaya.
I don't technically need to eat or drink, so I choose to get the most ridiculously colored mixed drink on the menu. I just want whatever looks the funniest.
And Alaska pulls a little prank on West and has the bartender fix him a Mad Dog 2020 drink.
Okay.
Okay.
Does no one know what Mad Dog 2020 is?
Oh, I know what it is. I'm failing how you think that's a prank on West.
Oh.
Okay. For Felicity, something kind of wild is a fairly tall Collins glass appearance, and it's multicolored in its appearance, but this is once again fitting with the New Orleans vibe, and something that's very iconic to them is the Sazerac.
Alright. Priscilla is pleased.
With this particular physical body that you have been able to ascertain, the concept of taste is transferable.
Priscilla is probably less pleased. Just stick it out, though.
Okay. Neshik, I have a very interesting question for you.
All right, shoot.
Within the growing up and their experience on Vulcan, have they eaten a lot of foods outside of that and that of Starfleet, like, standard?
Because
Oh yeah, Vulcans are
most Vulcans are
pretty bland,
vegetarians,
isn't
right?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vulcans are vegetarian, and then like I remember from Gull, a lot of Tellarites are vegetarian too. So meat actually probably doesn't agree with Neshek very well.
That is not the question I was asking about, but that's
Oh.
also true.
Um, sure, she'd try stuff out.
Okay. I just wanted to know about that because meat probably isn't a huge thing of your diet, but you know what New Orleans does as well? Spice.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun time. Oh, and barbecue, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's probably, especially if I went with what I said and I got jambalaya, depending on where we went, it might have been like, oh, this actually isn't that bad, and then it just gets more and more until Neshek starts getting very flustered.
So that is the question for Alaska: how authentic?
This is like Grandpa Cisco's restaurant.
Oh, you're screwed. Okay, got it.
So it's no replicated stuff. It's all authentic cooking.
Oh yeah. Good luck, Neshek. It's kind of one of those things where the first like 4 or 5 like bites in, it's not that bad. It truly isn't. And then you kind of get into conversation a little bit with former crewmates and stuff, and as you're talking, oxygen is hitting all the spice chemicals, and it's getting worse.
Do I notice this?
Probably. It depends on how quickly you want to say something, or if you just want Neshek to experience it for a little bit.
I will have ordered a glass of milk, but haven't drank it. And with the
You've had it there the whole time.
Neshek's reaction, will hand her the glass of milk and go, "This will help, but drink slowly."
I think West would also be having an issue with the food, having mostly been on rations and anything else other than authentic food. And this might be where the prank of the drink comes in. Because I was thinking about it and I'm looking at the MD 2020 and then hearing about the food, and it's like, oh yeah, no. Alcohol makes this worse, doesn't it?
Yep. Yes, it
And
does.
particularly considering how alcoholic Mad Dog
It's-
2020 is.
Yeah, it's not until like the milk comes out that he realizes that the alcohol that he's been drinking has actually not been helping.
It has, in fact, accented it further.
Yeah.
So this 2020 actually is a it's kind of like a 3-layer prank, because at first it's like, yeah, I don't care about this. This doesn't affect me. Spicy food. Oh, this affects me. I'll just drink the alcohol. Oh, nope, this is getting worse. Then the milk comes into play. And for those of you who have had the horrible misfortune of having nothing else at your disposal at the time, and have had to, like, drink milk after spice is one thing. Alcohol's another.
Yep.
Rex might be running for the bathroom.
Is there a con check that I need to make, or
You know what? Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's just do a control con with the difficulty of 1.
I was gonna argue for fitness con, but or command, but then I realized no matter what, the numbers are the same. Nope, I do not hold it. I missed it by one.
Okay, it's not really whether or not you can like. It's more of like one of those things where you have to get up and go because that's just what has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, y- hmm, Alaska knows this place a little bit better. So, I'm going to ask the age-old food service sit-down place question: table or booth?
She would probably get a table for everyone.
Okay. Next question for West: outside or inside, generally in the table?
Given the position that he's used to being in, he would sit on the inside because then the higher ups would normally be on the outside of the table. So
Okay. So it is a little bit of finessing for you then to try and move around and get out. You do, but uh, yeah, you were to use a pun so succinctly. You were making headway to your destination.
Alaska, meanwhile, is not even phased by the spices.
Well, no, obviously not. Um, the the subtle tones of jazz and a little bit of music are playing, and you are all left to kind of converse. I'm not sure how long it takes Wes to use any EOD specialties. Um,
he's probably only gone for maybe about 5 minutes total.
okay. It's it is a different vibe on Earth. Where all of you were in the throes of Horizon or on ship were constantly against some sort of danger or threat. You all just get to relax and enjoy life for a little bit. With that being the case, are there any final scenes that people would like to do?
Before we head off our separate ways. Huh. Hmm. Not offhand for me right now.
Alright.
If we're here in New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
before we all get out, Neshik would mention that if any of you do happen to be in the vicinity of the Volpes Institute and are insane enough to want to get on a motorcycle again after what happened to Aleska, she does have her two like modern motorcycles that she rides. And I say modern in the sense of like contemporary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a standing invitation for anybody to show up and go on a ride with her.
Alright.
I have one little scene.
Okay.
She will make a pit stop in San Francisco after the dinner and everything to stop by Starfleet Intelligence for a phone call with a certain Commodore.
Alright.
One of her descendants who's in charge of what intelligence calls the Yard.
Okay. Um, that is easy enough to do. I mean, obviously, it doesn't take long for them to pick up, but remind me, who is this again?
I haven't actually thought of the name for them yet.
Okay. Well, we'll just they do pick up and answer the transmission. Hello?
Greetings, grandson. I apologize for calling at such an hour.
This is never not weird. I hope you know that.
I know, but I'm here calling to check on progress of the Doomsday Machine.
No, right that. From what I can see, it doesn't seem like it's doesn't seem like it's an immediate threat, and going off the trajectory and information that you gave us, it won't be a problem until 33rd century.
Indeed, but given my lifetimes, I would like to begin the preparations as soon as possible in studying the Doomsday Machine for any advantage for this new one that's coming.
Yeah, we can schedule something for that. Are you going to be in the quadrant for a bit for a change? You've been gone for a while.
Yes, the DeSoto is undergoing a refit at the moment to add a bit of armor and updates to her other systems. I intend to make a personal visit to the yard.
Well, alright. That if the DeSoto's getting that much of an overhaul, it'll be about 3 months.
Indeed, long enough to set certain things in motion.
Yeah. Alright, well. I look forward to your visit then.
And I, to you, we have a lot to catch up on, and not just business things.
Yeah, this is still weird. Yeah, you must be... You must be, somewhere on Earth. Time's a little different here.
Yes, I'm at the intelligence headquarters in San Francisco.
You know, the, if she wasn't so busy, I would have the, put you in contact with the director. I'm sure she'd like to hear from you, but unfortunately, she's dealing with a particular crisis that I obviously can't give details to.
Indeed, and I am more than familiar with need to know.
Well, I look forward to your visit.
Have a good night's rest, grandson.
It's still weird. And he turns it off. Alright. Captain Phillips, you said you had a little bit of a scene?
Yeah, I did. One, he's going to go to San Francisco to Starfleet headquarters, and he misses the station. He doesn't know who's currently running the station since he's going to be on the ship of his own.
Okay.
He wants to see how the station is.
Okay. Just you wanna know who the CO of the station is now, or
Yep. Yeah, give who CEO is and give him a ring and give him some advice.
all right. The current or actually going to and when you ask that, the admiral that you're talking to kind of laughs a little bit at the question. That's actually really fascinating because she hasn't left yet. She's actually... I was going to brief her tomorrow, but you can meet her over at the Science Observatory section of headquarters if you want to meet her.
And he would nod, and that's where he'll go.
Okay. The person you run into is wearing this kind of almost royal embroidered command red that has almost like flag officers where they have that gold color, but it's a deep like bronze and silver. The pips that are denoted on for this new iteration of uniform are not noted on the neck or the collar, but rather the right chest area, and there is no pips, but there is rather a 2-star admiral bar. She is a little bit shorter than you, kind of thin and willowy in build, long, kind of dark chestnut hair that goes a little past her shoulders. Bajoran, and turns to you as she's kind of just has a hollow image of Horizon Station and a bunch of just systems reads and all these little nuanced things that she thinks she needs to know before going there. And she has not paid attention to your arrival.
Right, so I will cough twice.
Oh, Captain. Hello.
Hello. So you're the one who's gonna be the CEO of Horizon.
I am. It's a different. She is a different beast. I
Yeah, but
thought
she was
our
home for a
space
while.
stock at Earth was large, but this is massive.
Yeah, but she's home. She was home for a while. I came to wish you well and give you some advice. One, hold on. Before I say anything, is that gas creature still hanging around the station?
Yeah, actually, it still is.
Okay, because what I say first is what it was gonna rely on if the creature was still there.
Okay,
Okay, so we have an energy cloud. It's near the
I'm
station.
aware of
It's
it.
harmless. Make sure it's fed.
It's what? Fed?
Yes, you heard me. Fed.
Uh, what? What?
It,
What?
it, it, um,
What? What do you feed it?
not people. We feed it with like what
I
energy?
assumed it wasn't people. I just want to make sure it's nothing drastic like
No,
antimatter.
no, nothing like that. We discovered that if you give it like a little bit of the lithium, it will last for a while because it digests it slowly. Just hit it once, you're good. And always make sure that you talk to your allies that you want to have on the station.
Yeah.
They'll be your best friends, and they will help you out in any situation.
One moment, Captain. She taps her comm badge. Commander? Another voice, woman's comes through. Yes, Admiral? The gas cloud, the nebula that's there? Yes?
Mhm.
I'm told it's to be fed? There is a quick and hasty, like, jolt of surprise, elation, and what you can only determine to be Hispanic cursing. Um, of course it needs to be fed, Admiral. Why wouldn't it be? There's only a nebula that makes no sense, and it's way too small to actually be classified as a nebula.
Oh, was
Okay.
it Zippo? Send Zippo. Told you, Charlie, don't forget one important thing. Be mindful of Q. That's all. That's all he says. Be mindful of Q.
The young one, correct?
Yep,
Great.
the young one. Yes.
Fantastic.
Well, once he sees that we're not there, he might just leave you guys alone. But it's
Oh,
Q
well, if
protecting
with any luck, then he'll be your problem.
him. I'll just send him to somebody else. But yeah, just want to wish you the best of luck and just take care of the station. I'll take care of you. And the captain will just turn and walk off. He has one more surprise for him. It's for his old crew, the former crew of Riot Station, before they go off and do whatever.
Captain,
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't get your name.
Ah, that's easy. Sweet Captain Jackson Phillips. Nice to meet you.
Admiral Lee Jaxa.
Well, I guess maybe I'll stop by Horizon once in a while to see how you guys are doing.
I could use the extra help.
It will be no problem.
Alright.
So of course he shook the captain's hand, the admiral's hand, and then
Mm-hmm.
turns around and heads out.
Okay.
Gathers the old crew, which is Apricity, Neshik, West, and Alaska,
Mm-hmm.
and he takes them to a photo booth, and he gets a group photo.
Okay. Photos are a little different in this century, as they aren't, well, you're gonna have to go gather them, but before that, really quick, Apricity, do you have any final scenes that you wish Apricity to do?
Um, no, not really, actually. They're definitely going to do their part to try and get West a new job.
Okay.
But other than that, they are already living it up on Tholia. Well, as soon as they get back.
Yeah, actually, there is as you're kind of hanging around, you actually are able to, in the interim, as you're preparing to all leave, you actually do get a call to show up to Starfleet Medical Headquarters.
Oh dear. Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. You were guided there, and eventually there is, uh, you're able to meet in just kind of like, just a meeting room, that's it's pretty wide and open. But the end of that, kind of you're placed to sit down and wait for a moment.
I play on my phone.
Yeah, I'm sure. But the end of that, you are actually for the first time meeting face to face with the Commander Pips. You are meeting Dr. Julian Bashir face to face.
Oh, Dr. Bashir.
Hello.
We've spoken so many times, I feel like this isn't the first time we're meeting.
Well, it's the first time we're meeting in person. I had a peculiar application come through, and I wanted to run it by you.
Of course.
Jacob West is an applicant here, and looks like from the dossier that you have interacted before on Horizon.
Yes, I actually recommended that he apply to this station on Dolly in the first place.
Right. That, an operations position, that's actually in desperate need of on that facility. As I'm sure you're aware, the engineers there constantly struggle with the environmental systems and the inner workings of that facility.
I'm aware. I'm also aware that West could be a good fit for the position.
As he is aware that the job itself is fairly isolated.
He is.
In your approximation, have you ever had issues with West's particular views on the United Federation of Planets?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Very well, I just wanted to see if his feelings towards, from what I could gather from his psychoval that I could create off of his profiles, if his feelings towards the United Federation of Planets and Starfleet were interwoven or entirely separate.
As long as I've worked with him, it's never gotten in the way of his job.
Doctor, I will tell you right now, I am fairly aware that Starfleet has its problems. I've dealt with them firsthand. But I do agree that perhaps a change of pace is exactly what he needs. So, I will allow him position there. On a commission basis. On temporary commission basis. Should he prove to be a good fit, then we can move to a permanent placement.
Thank you, Doctor. I hope this will be a good fit for him. It'll be nice having somebody from Horizon with me on Thalia.
Well, only time will tell.
Assuming he accepts.
No. Depending on how he feels. I am keeping you from your work, Doctor. I only needed a moment of your time.
Of course, and obviously I'm always just a come away.
And in a download a few bits. But have a relaxing rest of your free time.
And you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Alright. After a little bit of time in that conversation, Captain Phillips has managed to once again round up all the former members of Horizon Station. Former crewmates and people. Captain Phillips, is there any particular location that you're looking to take this photograph? It, like, at a particular building, or just kind of anywhere?
I think maybe at the maybe by the San Francisco Bridge
Okay,
near Starfleet Academy.
alright. And just a quick question, no one skips out on the picture thing?
No.
No!
Okay. Just wanted to be sure. The pictures in this day and age work a lot different, as they're not 2D anymore. They are a small chunk of the environment pulled out in a holographic kind of disc that can be set up and displayed, and can present minor movements and changes, and can record whatever weather and it's a rather relaxing and calm, if a little bit slightly breezy day when this photograph is taken. And for all of you, that photo is a connecting point. There's one aboard the USS DeSoto, or rather the USS DeSoto-A, one aboard the USS Titan, one all the way on Neshek's facility, and two sit rest in a research building on Tholia. All connecting factors of destinies interwoven and apart, and should the stars be willing, continue to do so. But with that, Star Trek Horizon has finally concluded.
We did it, gang. Nobody died.
With that being the case, for a special little bit of this extra recording piece, I am going to let people who have been keeping up, the few people that have decided to continue listening to it. Once I do have this one up, this one's going to be up a little bit later, but hopefully after a week or two, and you'll see it come up. It will have already gone up. I don't know why I'm saying it. I am saying it, but at the end we will have something that you should maybe pay attention to, as that will be at least the YouTube intro sequence for Star Trek Intelligence, and that will be where you can at least see, hopefully, the first inkling of Star Trek Intelligence's cast members. But with that, the sun has set. Goodbye.